goodness. Alright, I'm just gonna assume everything's functional right now. I think I've had you guys waiting for far too long. Hello again. Some people may not see this live right now, so for those of you that might see this in the future, hello. It's great to see you all once again. I am back. Now, I won't say for how long though, like if we're being honest, because I just have so much going on lately. There's been so many issues going on personally, somewhat professionally, and just a lot of back and forth of like a lot. But I definitely want to make a somewhat special stream today to finally just tell the world and for those that actually are subscribed or whoever actually does like my content that I'm still here. I'm not dead, as far as I know. And there's just so much I would like to talk about, but I also just don't want to bore everyone. The first thing is I am officially making a indie horror movie. Now we're still in the process of editing, shooting, and all of that fun stuff. What took me so long to finally do this is because, well, not to say too much, because I'm sure you guys have probably already heard a little bit of what's happened and all that. Yes, Lord Zach, I had personal issues going on. By the way, shout out to Lord Zach. For those of you that don't know, it is his birthday today. I understand watching his streams that normally he would do something special for this type of festivity and all this stuff. And yes, Lord Jack, a horror movie. Get it through your head. But first things first, it is his birthday. So for those of you that are following me but also following him, go ahead and wish him a happy birthday. He deserves it. It is his day today. I wish I could stream with him, but I understand too he has a bit of technical difficulties right now with his internet. I understand that. I'm sometimes in that same situation, especially with my PC go right now. It's not. Eventually, I may have to upgrade the CPU, but as of right now, I don't know. It might be the RAM too, because it's just still doing what it did before the last time I streamed, where it would like just restart and give me the blue screen of death. And the previous stream that I was just doing a little bit ago, when I was just getting ready, and I right when I was about to click the next scene where you guys see me, it was already going to the blue screen. So if it does it again, I think I'm just gonna have to record on my phone and go live on my phone. But for now, I'm just gonna assume my PC's gonna cooperate. If it doesn't, I mean, we'll just see what happens. But there's definitely a lot going on with me lately. It's not really all bad, if I'm also being honest about this. It's not all bad. I'm still here. I just have a lot going on personally and professionally. I guess the thing is too, like, I know I said I wouldn't be going anywhere this long again for a long time, but apparently that was a damn lie. And apparently Lord Zach is saying I might be okay for tonight for streaming tonight, and I'll be playing Dino Crisis. I was almost gonna say Crossing from Animal Crossing, but it's Dino Crossing. So there you have it, folks. Lord Zek is gonna return to streaming. He has been active and doing more with his YouTube channel as much as I have, at least with mine. And I would like to tell everyone, in case you guys have wondered what's going on with me, I apologize. There's just a lot going on. But when it comes to the horror movie I'm making, a lot is going on with that. A lot of reshoots, a lot of recasting, just a lot of all that issues which I never thought I would ever have to deal with in my life is now like right front and center. And so now the movie, or I don't know why I'm calling it movie, video is going to take longer than what I thought was going to take. It was originally supposed to be out last couple months ago. And we already made a promo about it. We were already like starting to like go on a podcast, but then once we had some issues, I don't want to get too into them. What did you say? Yeah. I know it's crisis. It's crisis, damn it. I know. I know. Okay, it's crisis. I get it. It's crisis, Lord Jack. Once again, as always, you are right. My bad. As I was saying, a lot of reshoots, a lot of recasting, and just a lot of editing and like preparations on this wonderful project. I want to say on a horror movie because I'm such an avid fan of horror. Even though I like to watch comedy movies and like adventure movies and like anything like with the Marvel, DC universes and so forth. Horror is like my main go-to genre. And for those of you that haven't seen it yet, don't spoil 28 years later. I'm still looking at watching that damn movie. I don't know when, but I hope to see it soon. But there's just so much to do when it comes to making a like it's just like a simple YouTube short, I guess, like a simple YouTube mini video if it's like a horror movie. Because if for those of you that are like have seen like those mini horror movies like on YouTube, where it's like shot like in 5 to 10, 15 minutes at best. That's like to me that's like art. To me, it's like I've wanted to do that for so long, but because with the powers that be, I didn't know that many people that can do all that. At least where I live at, I didn't have that many friends that could do that. But then I finally did, and I was so excited. I was so ready to do everything. Yeah. 28 years later, I know. I'm pretty sure that's a joke, Lord Zach. Shut it. As I was saying, but just to get back in the swing of things, like so much was almost done making that video, and we were about to publish it and like post it on my friend's YouTube video because I wanted to first share because it was his baby, it was his creation. We were gonna put it on his, and then once he had enough views and such, then he was gonna allow me to finally post it on my channel. But the thing that happened was, and I don't want to get too deep into this because it's just something that I promised him. Things just were clicking. Things just happened that was very unexpected, and so now with what happened, I'm in full control, and I was honestly terrified when I was given the permission to finally given full control of making a mini horror movie. Because I've never been like a director, producer of anything like this before. I've always done like my own stuff that you guys may have seen or may not have seen, and I've always just done stuff like that. But when it comes to an actual like production ish, not like Hollywood production, but just like indie ish production, I still took it as seriously as I could, and I was just anxious and terrified because it's like, oh my god, now all that control is on my hands. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? So that's what also took a while to finally be like, all right, I got the baby. Let's go ahead and make a creation. You're in control. That's right. There is scary. Oh yeah, Zach. Oh yeah. I don't know if you're trying to be funny or if you're agreeing with me. But yes, someone like me that's in control of an actual director position slash producer position was never in the cards for me. I mean, helping people make YouTube videos is one thing, but actually doing everything and telling people what to do, not to mention casting people, it definitely feels like I'm in Hollywood now. But I'm not in Hollywood. I'm not even in California. I'm not even based in California, in Los Angeles, where all that happens. I would love to be in California doing all this stuff with actual producers and actual stuff like this. But whatever. I know I gotta work my way up to that kind of stuff, which is fine. It may take me another 30 years or so. I don't know. I just, there's just so much to do. And now that's basically what's been taking most of my time. Because, in case you guys didn't know this, I was originally supposed to do a Climbing Together series with my two friends, Zach and Sweet Tooth, Sweet Mouth, if you know what I'm talking about. That was originally supposed to be on the cards before I got the promotion or this creation. But then once they gave me that creation, I honestly was like, oh my god, I need to take a week to like understand all this. Like I've never done this before. Like give me a minute to like do this full on. Like let me understand everything before I go like complete into it. So like I almost felt like I was gonna have an anxiety attack. I make videos outside of going live for a long time, so I will, Zach. I think you and I need to do some stuff again together. Which, if stuff does feel like overwhelming, or if I feel like I need a assistant director or co-director, if you will, I think you'll probably be the first one to get the call or something. But for now, I'm actually adjusted. I feel good, but I'm still nervous. I'm still anxious because now it's like all the pressure is on me to make sure we get the shots, we get the footages, we get the scenes that they need to be. Because the whole point, just to give you guys a bit of detail of what the video is going to look like, it's basically the character is going to be in a forest, which thank goodness I live a couple blocks down one, and it's all like tall trees and everything, and we want to have like the proper scene where it's like cloudy, a bit of rain, maybe some thunderstorms and lightning, if you will. I know that sounds sketchy, but I have such a good mindset of how I want this movie to. I don't know why I'm calling it movie, video to be. I want to have like pure horror instead of like all these green screens that I've always seen all these people do, which I get it. If you have the budget and everything, it's fine. But to me, I want things to be pure, like everything like non CGI, which of course I don't even know how to do CGI, even if I tried. I don't even have the proper computer to even do anything with CGI, if we're being honest. I don't even have a green screen, none of that. Because in my mind and in my gut as a director, especially as a fan of James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, and Robert Rodriguez, I'm sure they would all say, maybe some of them would say, it's fine to go CGI, but also make the video or your movie as pure as possible. I don't know. At least that's how I was. At least that's how I see it. Getting butterflies in stomach is understandable. Yes, it is. But to me, I'm just taking this maybe as way too seriously as I should be, and I know that. But again, this is the first time I've ever done this type of stuff ever, which is why I have not been on YouTube as much as I would have loved to. I would have loved to do the 12-hour stream me and Zach have been promoting for so long, but we never did it because not just because of his technical issues, but because of my stupidity and my laziness and procrastination, but also because now I'm taking a new type of role that is that has taken my whole undivided attention. And on top of that, I also have a regular job outside of YouTube and video editing, which is how I'm trying to put some money into this video. And it's not even enough to like make like a decent video, but it's still something. And I hope once we get it all done and everything, I hope I get some people to enjoy it because of the powers that be and because of what happened with the original person that was I was helping making this isn't available. And again, I just don't want to get into it right now because it's just really personal. It's something I don't think anyone should really like be aware of right now, unless he says something. I'd rather him tell you what happened and why he gave me the position and such and such. I mean, you ain't wrong. That's why we have Google, and apparently now AI is in the work in the fix of all this. And I'm really trying because I know that's what most movies and videos will do nowadays. Is use AI. I've always been that type of person. If I'm gonna go into something like this, I want it all to be just like pure, simple videos. And I hope to get to that eventually once I finish this. Because now the plan and the hopefully, since we had to do reshoots and recast and retakes and everything like that, like do like the whole video all over again. My thing is now is to hopefully get this done by before Halloween. Since it is horror, that's what hit my mind. Like, why do we have to let this be out when we said it was going to be originally? It makes more sense since it's horror. Let it come out on the most well-renowned and well-known horror day of all days, Halloween. So that's the goal. I hope. I hope that's the deadline that we'll get. So we are like what on July. So now we got till July, August, September, and most of October. That's 4 months. 4 months to recast, reshoot, re-edit, and just redo the whole video. And I just can't get over the fact that we were so close to almost finishing up this video. But because of what happened, and because of just all that stuff that, especially with the actor well, I don't want to say we, because it definitely wasn't me. My friend hired. It just, she came from Broadway and all that stuff. And it's just like, gosh. So sorry about that, guys. That is very unprofessional that I received phone calls. But don't worry, it was just a robot that I was speaking to. So I just let it say what it needed to say and then poof, I was done. But as I was saying though, it's just we were having difficulties in the beginning with the person we hired who was not really like a Broadway star, but was like an up and coming Broadway star that we hired here where I live because we have like an amphitheater type of thing or type of place, and she was a good friend of my friend who was the director. But whatever. And I'm glad that we don't have her anymore because it was just she wasn't really getting along with me as well either because there was just something about her that was just she was such a prima donna if I'm being honest, and I know that's not the best way to really put it, but I don't know how else to say it. It's not that I was letting the video and editing and all that take over like my life. I really was trying to just do what I can. But especially with the powers that be and everything that's happening now, I feel like family things are starting to like be like the last thing in my mind. And I really do like enjoying my days off, especially when I'm not working outside of video editing and all that stuff. I like to also enjoy like being procrastinating and just enjoying my days off. But sometimes that's just not the case with me because I'm just always anxious about everything. I want things to be done at certain points. I want things to be like taken care of at certain points because that's how impulsive I am. That's how impatient I am. And I'm still struggling. I guess I'm not struggling actually. Wait, that's a lie. I'm still learning and coping with how to deal with all that stuff, which is why I take medications. And sometimes I don't take my medication because I just feel like my medication doctor isn't understanding more, a little bit more of what I need when it comes to medications. But whatever, I'm dealing with it. I'm taking care of it. It's fine. And there's just so much going on. Like, I know I keep talking about like the video I'm taking care of, but it's just that's possible like probably one like the biggest main reason why I'm not on YouTube right now and why I've been away for like what it's been like 6 months since I last posted a video and gone live. I think it was just so overwhelming for me, which is why again I almost felt like I was gonna have a panic attack or anxiety attack because I just felt like I didn't really get like proper introduction of getting this promotion or this yeah promotion of being a director and everything. My friend just handed it to me, just saying like, okay, this happened. From now on, you're in charge. I no longer have any control over this video. So first I was calm about it, like excited, but then that's when my anxiousness started kicking in and just over exaggerating, over analyzing all this stuff, which I've always done too my whole life. And I'm working on this stuff. I'm going to therapy and everything. I'm getting the help I need. I'm getting the medications I need, but I just need to also tell myself it's okay. Yes, I know, Lord Zach. All the times I've said all about patience. Again, I'm just that type of person where like I may say things, but then once I start doing them, or I start telling myself that, I don't really think about it I don't really take it into consideration until like at the last minute, which is why I wanted to do this right now to show the people in YouTube at least. I was gonna do like a multi stream with Twitch, but I just feel like Twitch. It's just there's just something about Twitch lately that it just frightens me right now, and that's why I just feel more comfortable being where I've always done things, where I've always shown my creativity side is YouTube. Twitch, I understand what it's trying to do and everything, and it's trying to be like the best platform when it comes to like creativity as well. But it's just there's just something about it that just kind of frightens me and like just I don't know. So I may not be on Twitch that much, but I'll still do what I can with it. So with that being said, too, guys, it's the fact that I know it's been like again, I think it was 6 months since I've done anything with YouTube. It's because of the fact that I've let my overwhelmingness, my anxiety, and my procrastination take it the best of me. And normally, I'm not always like this. I've always been able to control my urges and like all my feelings and everything. But doing some like videos, I understand now why there's all these things going on when it comes to like movie creations, especially in Hollywood. Like I cannot fathom what a new director or like a newly hired director would feel if he got like the biggest project that is well known, like say like a Marvel movie. I would show so much empathy and so much like worry for that new director that finally got the break that he deserves and finally is gonna create the greatest next Marvel movie. To me, that if I ever did that, dude, I'd be freaking the hell out. Not just of excitement, but it's also like, now what the hell do I do with this? With this world renowned comic book creation. What's with the sunglasses, Lord Jack? Even though I'm inside, I'll tell you why I'm deciding to wear my sunglasses. Because I know originally I was gonna get Oakley's, which is a big brand, much like Apple and all that so forth. Like even NFL players wear them. Here's the thing: I almost got some Oakley's, almost like these. But here's the thing: my sister told me about this other company called Pit Vipers. If you guys can see it, one side says Pit, the other side says Viper. That's the name of the company, and they make sunglasses like these. So, with that being said, I'm wearing these not because I'm sponsored by them, which, hey, Pit Viper, I'm just saying, I know I'm probably the lowest novice, the lowest subscribed YouTuber, but I'm just saying, if you got me subscribed, or that too, but if you sponsor me, if you guys do sponsor me in any way, let me know, because I will sponsor the shit out of these. These glasses, guys, I mean, yeah, like I said, Oakley's is probably the top brand, but Pit Vipers, if you guys see like their websites and like the way they promote things, it feels like the same type of humor and everything like how I normally like do things like on YouTube and everything. It's just something you guys have to check out. So yes, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I would love to be sponsored by Pit Vipers because they got really cool sunglasses, which is why I'm wearing them. Because I'm just showing my support. And even though I'm not sponsored by them, I wouldn't mind taking some of that sponsorship. I'm just saying, the Pit Vipers, if you give me a ring or email, I'm here for you. And yeah, I may have 36 subscribers right now. Still, yeah, okay, maybe I'm asking for too much right now. I'm the lowest of low tier YouTubers right now. So maybe, I don't know, when I get to 1,000, 10,000 subscribers, maybe me and Pit Viper should talk. But that's just me. Which is why I'm wearing these glasses, Mr. Zach. Because I love them, they're comfortable, and I like them. I think I already said I love them, but I know I said I like them, but still, that's how much I enjoy these glasses, which is why I'm wearing them. And I'm just weird that way, if we're being honest, too. I'm just being weird that way. I've always been weird. Why would I change who I am after so many years being on YouTube? Why should I change my platform and everything I've done here? I haven't got any complaints on my YouTube channel. Maybe that's because I don't have many people that subscribe to me, tell me, like, give me some compliments of what I could do or what I'm doing wrong with my YouTube channel. I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing okay. Maybe not. I don't know. But at least giving some feedback would be appreciated. But whatever. But the thing is, why would I change? Even if people do give me like a lecture or like some hate on my channel. Now, see here, Mr. Zach. Just because you're a Lord, do I look like Jey Uso? No. These don't even look like the same glasses he wears, if we're being honest, too. They're different. And they say yeet on them. These say Pit Vipers. Pit Vipers. Maybe Randy Orton should be sponsored by these guys because his nickname is the Viper. I'm just saying. You got some advice, do you, Zach? Well, then please share with the class. Then I would love to hear some criticism. And trust me, I'm not immune to criticism. No one that's a YouTuber that may have millions and millions of subscribers is immune to criticism. So how would I be any different? I'm just glad to be back on YouTube, guys. I'm just glad I finally had time out of my busy schedule to finally just talk to you guys and just let me know I'm okay. I'm still here. Yeah. Well, I'm not him. I'll never be like Jey Uso. I like his style though. I do like his style. Stream on YouTube Shorts. Here's the thing though, Zach. YouTube Shorts, they are starting to get more popular and popular, but until TikTok is, not to get political, ladies and gentlemen, not to get political, by the way. I always do try to tell myself to stay away from political things, especially when it comes to sweet mouth. But if we're gonna go there, we're gonna go there. Until something happens to TikTok, which again, these are just rumors. I don't believe them until something actually happens. But if something does happen on TikTok, and if YouTube Shorts start gaining more momentum more and more, then maybe I'll start doing that. But I do still feel like as long as TikTok's viewerships and such are still strong and still going, I think, Zach, especially you, should also stream on TikTok as well. There's more viewers and more stuff to do with TikTok than maybe YouTube, at least for right now. I don't know. That's just what I've watched and learned, and it just depends too, I guess, on where you get the most followers from. YouTube is probably the main case, like the main thing, and I feel like that's what people are just not used to nowadays. They know that YouTube is like the best thing to like be creative and such, but they also know that TikTok gives you more freedom. I think I could be wrong, but for right now, Zach, I know that YouTube Shorts is a thing, but with the powers that be as well, you never know. YouTube Short can be a good thing. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just got a text from a family member. Moving on. I do know that, Zach. I do know that TikTok and YouTube are competing with each other. But again, because of certain circumstances, political that is going on with TikTok, I just don't know how much longer TikTok will be around, which is why they have that backup thing called Lemon 8. I'm not even on Lemon 8, but I've just had a lot of people give me suggestions about going on Lemon 8, which I'm sure it's a good platform and social media thing as well. But it just feels like it's still like fresh. It's just like all these like things, newer social medias that come out. People are just like over analyzing it and just feeling like, it's not gonna be worth it. It's not gonna be big or anything like all these other things. They said the same thing about YouTube at the beginning. They said the same thing about Vine at the beginning. For those of you that know what Vine is, by the way, they say the same thing about TikTok when that first was established. They didn't think TikTok was gonna be this big like how it is now. They thought it was just like a platform like where you just sing and dance. That was it. That was the original idea for TikTok. But then once I just feel like whenever celebrities and like all these like big news outlets get a hold of all these social media platforms, it just feels like it just takes away what it was supposed to be, you know? But whatever. That is true. That is true. I do feel like TikTok and YouTube combined have like the same type of rules and regulations when it comes to like posting certain things, which is why again I've seen like not commercials but just like ads whenever I'm scrolling through TikTok about like these quote unquote like adult oriented TikTok social media outlets, which I know and I guarantee you when it comes to those kind of apps, I know exactly what people are gonna do and look up. Which is why I always just stay away from those kind of things because you don't know how sketchy they'll be. You don't know exactly what they'll be posting. Which is why I always like to stay away from like certain things that may seem popular until I see for myself like how good it is and like how worth it it'll be. Same thing with Kick that was supposed to compete with Twitch. I feel like Kick is gone like a little too overboard because people tend to like stream And then the next thing you know, during that stream, people either end up getting shot or just something bad happens. Which is why I feel like Kick has gone a little like, uh oh, they're starting to not be as popular as like how Twitch is. So, I mean, I don't know. Oh, there's just so much I can talk about, but I also just don't want to take too much time here sitting here talking, because that's honestly not what at least my channel is about. My channel is, of course, to have fun, have a good time, make some memories, and just like feel like you can forget about the world. But even I have struggles too. Even I have days where like I just need to vent, and I just need to just be honest with myself and like people that may not be subscribed to me even know who I am, but just understand where I'm coming from. I'm a human being just like everybody else. That is true, Zach. That is very true. You can say whatever you want on YouTube, but just like you, Zach, and I know you've done this with me and Sweet Tooth before, where like you've had us censored because of certain political things. So I guess with YouTube, it really just depends on what your channel is about and what you'll say. And maybe that's where it just becomes like a big pothole or whatever you like to call it into issues, and then it just becomes a very controversial thing. At least that's just how I see it. There's just a lot you can do with YouTube, and you can make it however you make it, as long as you're just true to yourself and you just stick with it. And I can honestly tell you right now, folks, this is now what the fifth or fourth time I've gone like poof and disappeared for a while and then came back again. Poof, disappeared, come back again. And I know I've made videos too because I've looked at some of my earlier works on YouTube just because I was like, let me just see how cringe my stuff is at this point. I know I made videos saying like I'm gonna keep doing YouTube more and more and start making schedules about it and never leave you guys again. I can honestly say now, whatever happens, it happens. If I stick with YouTube more, then great. If I don't, I don't know. I'm sure you have, Zach. I think I've seen a couple of changes on your channel. So he looks like an Oompa Loompa. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. And I actually feel great that I'm talking about this stuff, but I'm also trying to make sure I don't say anything too out of pocket and like too like oversharing. Because then I feel like that's where it gets way too complicated and way too sensitive on YouTube, and then people start making memes or jokes about them, and I'm just trying to steer away from that. And again, I not only got like 36 subscribers, but it's just I've learned to, especially being on YouTube for a while now, one thing, no matter how popular, how many subscribers you get, if you make one mistake or one single thing, a joke, everyone around the world will clip it and make it into either into a GIF, a meme, or so on. And I guess that's why too. I've also been kind of like telling myself like, why do I need to keep doing YouTube when it's just like I'm not really giving it all my all. And actually, I know I've been giving it my all, cause look at the content I've been putting out at the like last year. Last year, I can admit